Find ways to compete. Yes, I've said this before. My last video was about this, but here it is in the weight room today. So I'm doing these, by the way, these little drop jumps with added weight. I don't know if they're stupid or not, okay? Don't yell at me for doing these. The idea is to potentiate the following movement you're going to see here. So the goal of movement today was not this. It is a barbell jump. And on that bar, I have a VMAX Pro, which is an accelerometer. And we'll get to that in a second, but basically it tracks how fast you move the bar. Now I'm measuring the peak velocity here during these jumps. And I'm trying to do these quick, short knee bend, springy kind of jumps. My previous best is 3.49. That's peak eccentric velocity meters a second. And we'll get to that here in a minute because I'll show you how I tracked it all. These are my warm-up sets. I wanted you to see the knee angle of this, right? It's kind of quick, short, rapid bend, not deep at all. Really elastic or whatever the heck you want to call it. But the point of this day is, again, I'm trying to beat my best. And so I do these drop jumps before to potentiate myself in theory and in concept. And then I'm going to go into actually tracking my best outputs. Now, when it comes to tracking my best outputs, sometimes there's some variability. Sometimes the device might register a really high jump when you didn't jump that high. So I have to repeat my efforts and I have to beat it. And so again, the goal is 3.5 and above. That's the goal. Peak velocity there on the left. You'll see when I jump, I'll appear like right there, 3.6. Oh, record, let's go. But you'll see it disappear quickly too, because sometimes it'll register me standing back up. Now what's interesting here, I got these two awesome records right here, 3.6 and 3.78. But that's one set. And this is, by the way, several sets in. You don't see my failures before this as much. But I have to prove to myself I can do that more than once. Because, it could have been a fluke. I could have pushed the bar up a little bit. Peak velocity is a sensitive metric. But when you're doing this, again, you want to repeat your best efforts. And you'll see here, I did that. I did well. I got, 3.5 and some good stuff here. And so you want to repeat your efforts. And you want to be able to not overthink your efforts. So what I mean by that is essentially when you're doing this, you might have set a new record, and then in your head, you're like, I'm going to try and set another new record. But you don't realize that you set that record not thinking about trying to set another record. Instead, you were just competing. And so what I find sometimes is when I do like 3, 4, 5, 6 reps in a row, I start to really overthink it. And the feedback actually becomes a negative because I start trying to think in my head, well, that jump wasn't right. How did I do that? So a way to get around that for myself was just do a couple of reps, 1 and 2, stay motivated during those reps, just compete. If I set a new record, it's because I was competing and I was competing hard and I wasn't just trying to overthink and overanalyze the process. So I love this kind of stuff. I use this in my training all the time. I track different movements, different lifts, different weights, because I'm trying to find ways to compete. If I can find ways to compete, I'll stay motivated. And I can do this with exercises that are specific or related to the goals I'm trying to achieve. So I hope that makes sense. I appreciate you guys listening. As always, I hope you enjoyed. And take care.